Hey guys, it's Core Ross, and today we're talking Year 5 content for Rainbow Six Siege. Now, we had leaks before Shifting Tides that told us who the new operators were going to be and how they were going to work, and the leak was accurate. But that leak also included Year 5 content, so we can kind of assume if the information on the new operators for this season was accurate, there's a good chance the Year 5 content is also accurate. So I thought we'd focus on some of it today. So the leaker told us we were going to get an Indian attacker with a grenade launcher that fires a device which charges up and destroys gadgets around it, and that she had a bolt action rifle. So that all ended up being pretty accurate. The leaker also got correct the defender as well, although he did say that the defender was going to be a 1-speed, which ended up being a 2-speed operator. So let's have a look at the Year 5 content here. The leaker talks about Year 5 having a Kool-Aid style operator, so someone who can actually run through soft walls, which if that happens will be awesome. Also talks about them testing a medical drone and a dual wielding operator. But in this video I want to focus on the proximity alarm, the mini thermite charge, the Clancy rework, and the Finka rework, which will apparently turn her into a healer. So all of this is very interesting stuff, but we actually have some proof of some of it, and that is the Finka rework as a healer. So with the review of the new season, we get the gameplay trailer from Ubisoft that kind of goes over the abilities of the new operators, and it uses pre-alpha gameplay footage, always up in the left hand corner letting us know that it is pre-alpha footage. But in that footage, we got to see Finka in action. So first of all, we got to see her pretty much working as normal, giving Callie here a boost up to 120 health, and we can see that there's the little usual thing letting us know that it's eventually going to run out, as it normally does in the current version of the game. However, in that trailer there's also a different version of Finka that boosts Callie yet again up to 120 health. However, there is no countdown for it to disappear. That blue circle is also larger as well. So this appears to be a different version of Finka's ability. And we can also see that it doesn't even show an overheal in the actual UI as well for Callie. So this is quite interesting, and it looks to be potentially a permanent health boost. So Finka might be able to actually heal people or overheal them permanently, which is of course potentially very interesting. It might be limited to only 20 when it comes to health boost, but if that stays on permanently, that's pretty damn good. Now I do expect if they're going to rework her to do this, that there will be some sort of nerf to it, like maybe she needs to actually be closer to people, so she can't just, boost the entire team up to 120. Maybe she'll be able to boost people that are close to her or something like that. And this seems to be a little indication and a little tease of what it's going to look like. Now, I didn't cover this at the time because, of course, we had all the news about the new season coming out, but I think now is the perfect time to cover what's probably coming in the future. However, I would point out, of course, this is pre-alpha footage, which means the UI might just be bugged or something just might be off. But my thinking is here, what we're looking at is Finka being able to permanently boost people up and, of course, permanently heal them as well, which would be a really nice addition to Rainbow Six Siege and would make Finka a little bit more useful because we really do need an attacker who can do some healing. So let me know what you think about this potential rework to Finka. Now the second thing I want to talk about is the mini thermite charges. I've kind of mocked one up, and I don't think it'll look like this in the game, but I wanted to have something visually to show off here. So if this is a thing, if the mini thermite is a secondary gadget that attackers will be able to pick, now I'm expecting there'll only be a few attackers that will actually be able to choose it. It's still amazing if they're able to become little mini hard breachers. Now, I don't expect this mini charge to actually put a vaultable hole in a wall. I expect it'll be too small to even crawl through, but maybe if you've got 2 of them, you could get through. And I think that each attacker will probably have 1 at the most. And this would be quite a game changer and quite a meta changer because you wouldn't potentially need to actually bring a hard breacher if you had a few operators with this. Also, you might not have to bring someone who's anti-gadget like Callie or Thatcher, because you can just have one of these get thrown at a wall and you might be able to then take out like a banded battery or something like that. So really powerful, really potentially quite game changing, and the devs would have to be very careful with how they implement it, but I could see it being quite interesting for sure. So that's another interesting one that if they implement that, that'll be quite something to see. Now, the other one is the Clancy rework. This has been teased now for quite a while in his actual bio. It was added in this year, so I do expect to see it in Year 5, maybe even with Season 1 at the 6 Invitationals as a really big surprise. I'm feeling quite confident that that is actually going to show up, and I really do think, because this one does mention that he'll no longer need his turret, I feel like he is going to have that gun as a primary. I don't know how that'll work, obviously, but I think that's how it's going to end up being the case. So can't wait to see that. That's going to be awesome. Whether it makes Chanka actually viable? Probably not. And then, of course, let's end it with the proximity sensor, something that was teased at the very beginning of Year 4, but didn't show up in Year 4, unfortunately. But I think that it really is going to show up in Year 5. However, this thing has been rumored for years now, so there's always the potential this is just a gadget that's never going to see the light of day ever. But I do hope that it does show up. I think it would be pretty underwhelming really when we actually get it, but it will add in a few different kind of tactics for roamers, and being able to kind of cover different flanks without having to actually potentially watch them. You just have to wait for the audio to come on for an alarm going off. So yeah, there is a potential that this could be quite an interesting little gadget, but by the time we actually get it, I feel like we're probably going to be underwhelmed by it. But if it comes alongside this small thermite charge, then certainly it's going to be interesting to see it play out in live servers. So there we go, guys. Because of the previous parts of this leak being now confirmed and actually happening, it means that the rest of it is definitely much more likely as we go into the future. And of course, Year 5 right now is a big question mark. We don't know much about it in the grand scheme of things, and we'll get teased a lot over the next few months. And then we'll probably find out all about Year 5 at the 6 Invitationals in about February. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments below, and I will catch you next time.